Hello, it's me. No doubt you've seen the length of this video and how it's looking different than how other videos usually do. Me and my friend Parker decided that we wanted to start doing longer videos as like a collab project. And we decided that we're going to do this for 4 weeks. We're going to do four of these videos. It's just a complete off the cuff. Um, we're just going to be talking about topics. It's like a podcast, except I don't want to call it a podcast because I don't want to be pretentious, even though a lot of this video is going to be pretentious. But if it succeeds after 4 weeks, then I'll make it official, and we're gonna have a podcast. If we get like attention or garner any amount of views, even like just um like one returning viewer that'll watch the podcast, I don't give a shit as long as it's successful in some way. We'll continue it. This is our first time with that, so we're not going to be at all elegant or really even very intelligent in our arguments. But if it succeeds, then we'll keep doing it and we'll keep getting better at it. And it'll eventually be a podcast. The working title for the podcast is Theory and Praxis, named after a book that I have on my bookshelf that I've never read. So, yeah, we're gonna do that. For every Wednesday, every Wednesday, I'm going to try to upload at least one of these every week for the entire month of January, and if it succeeds, we'll keep doing it. If not, then whatever. But if it does succeed, then I'll at least have at least one video every single week coming out, and that will be this. And I'm still working on my other projects. My other video is like almost done. So I'm still working on other projects even while doing this and having a job and looking at college. So with all of that, I'm still making progress on YouTube and doing stuff with YouTube. So don't think I have given up or anything like that. But without further ado, here is the first episode. Oh man, here is the first episode of Theory and Praxis. Hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone. I am Mars, and today we are here with a brand new podcast, episode 1, debut pilot. Okay, it's called Theory and Praxis because I couldn't think of a name and I ripped off the name of a book that I have almost entirely. So here we are, and I'm here with my friend Parker. Or which YouTube channel do you want me to promote?
I am still using Sigma Epsilon for that. I don't think I'm ever going to go back to the other one.
Okay,
At least not consistently.
fair enough, fair enough. So find them on handle is going to be down in the description, as well as my Patreon. So please support me. I would like money, because we can't pay these employees with no money. The employees being me and Parker. So today we have some things to talk about that we're gonna go over. But for now, I guess just introduce yourself. Tell the gang, the 3 viewers that I'm gonna be getting, what you do.
Alright, so online I go by Sigma Epsilon. I make gaming videos that this shithead is in regularly. Playing mostly horror games. Most recently we played through SCP-5K. I am currently having some difficulty playing through Amnesia the Bunker. But that's not out yet, so spoiler alert, I guess. And there will be more soon.
Awesome. So he's done gaming videos. I do politic video. But today we're gonna be doing politic together. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I guess without further ado, let's I guess what do you wanna tackle first?
Well, recently, some shithead cop crashed an SUV into a gay bar.
Gotta love it. Average
Um,
police activity.
it really fucking seems like it. And the immediate response was to arrest the owner of the bar that he crashed into for refusing to present an ID.
Yes, I
in the
love it.
bar in the bar that he owned that the cop crashed into.
It's quite crazy. Let's look at this stuff. So we got this article on screen now because I don't have any transitions, so it's very rough. Um, so we got 3 articles and a video. Do you want to look at the articles first, or do you want to look at the video first?
Probably best to start with the articles first.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with the. I'm gonna start with the. Ooh. I'm gonna start with the NBC News article. I don't know if I sent you that one.
Let's see. You did not.
Okay, I'll send you this one real quick. Copy that. Send that there. Okay, cool.
Cool. Got it.
All right. So, a cop seemed to have done a big oopsie and decided that today I'm going to drive into a bar. The attorney has claimed that the cop who drove into the bar got out, and when the bar owner, James Pence, came down, they started arresting him, or at least handcuffing him. And Chad Morris, James Pence's husband, I presume, came down, and the cops were yelling at him for them crashing into the bar. And when he tried to leave, they pursued him down an alleyway and started beating him. And then they arrested Morris, the person they were beating, and charged him with felony assault, which his attorney got charged or brought down to a misdemeanor. Now, what I think is amazing about this is not only did these cops just randomly drive into a bar, but they also, like, they drove into their bar, completely the cops' fault entirely, started handcuffing one of the owners, and then beat the other one and charged him with felony assault. How does this happen? How is it? I don't understand. How does this happen? It doesn't make any sense. Because you have these cops that are doing, like, that would be like me going up to an old woman, punching her in the face, and then, like, demanding that she apologize to me for me punching her in the face. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that? It does, like, how does this happen?
How does this happen? Well, the theory that I keep seeing is drunk driving,
Probably.
which I've seen multiple clips to come out about St. Louis PD since this video, the video of this incident dropped, of their cops clearly being intoxicated behind the wheel. And on top of that, okay, how does this happen? Drunk driving. That's my theory. I don't buy the statement put out by the police department that they were swerving to avoid a pedestrian or a parked car. Because if you watch the actual clip of the video of the crash, obviously didn't happen. They were nowhere near the supposed parked car, and there was no pedestrian in the street. They were driving straight, and then they were swerving to the side into the side of the bar. So it was either my belief is that it is either intentional that they crash into this place with the intent of causing problems, or that the driver was drunk and is refusing to take responsibility.
Now I did just find a little blurb that James Pence, the guy that was originally getting handcuffed, did say that my husband put his hand on a cop out of defense because they had already put me in handcuffs, because I wanted to know what was going on. So the thing with that is a lot of people will probably say, like, oh, he put his hand on the cop. That's basically assault. No, it's not. That also doesn't warrant them beating him and then arresting him and charging him with felony assault. You putting your hands on someone is not felony assault, okay?
Yeah. Especially when that person just crashed into your bar and handcuffed your husband
Yeah, like the most you would
with no cause.
with no cause, and for all, because like for all he knows, they are there under malicious pretenses. For all he knows, and him like just touching the officer does not warrant them beating him and then charging him with felony assault. The most they could probably charge him with, just by putting your hand on someone, I don't know, like misdemeanor battery, if that's a thing. Like that's the most I can think of.
Maybe assault of a police officer, but I'm not sure what the sentence is with that. What the minimum sentencing is for that.
Yeah, definitely not felony assault, because they did get it brought down to misdemeanor, according to the attorney. So that makes sense.
So there you go.
So I like charging him with felony assault doesn't make any sense. Then beating him is completely unwarranted, especially if it was just like a touching, like he just put a hand on the officer. That does not warrant a beating. That warrants like a restraining.
Yeah, but like the beating was unwarranted anyway because he was leaving the scene.
Yeah.
The scene that they created.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna turn you down a little
by
bit.
crashing into his bar.
Yeah, like
I mean, there is no version of this scenario where the bar owners have done anything wrong, in my opinion. Even if the guy touched the officer.
Yeah. Cause
they crashed into his bar, handcuffed his husband for no fucking reason, crashed into his bar demanding IDs, and then he puts a hand out at most. I've even heard that there is a video clip from the inside of the bar that shows that the owner never even touched the police.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that video, so I can't confirm that. So take that with a grain of salt. Wouldn't surprise me if that was the case, though, considering everything else that happened in this situation. But there is no version of this scenario where the cops have done anything even remotely close to justified.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are still active duty after this incident.
Oh yeah. What's incredible? So, police response, drawing scrutiny. So, let's head down here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Both officers have less than a year of experience with the department and remain on active duty. Chrisman said, which I think is it's the lieutenant. So, not only do we have two cops that just crash into a bar out of nowhere, start handcuffing the owner out of nowhere, beat the husband of the owner because he was defending his husband out of nowhere, and then charge him with felony assault out of nowhere, and then not only that, but they get off scot-free. They do all this, and they have their new hires, so they have less than a year of experience, so they should be on thin ice already, and they are still remain active duty, not suspended, even though there's an investigation, not suspended or not put on temporary leave or something like that. No, they remain active duty under this investigation. They've basically got off scot-free until they either get fired or suspended. There has been nothing done to actually rectify this situation. Completely nothing.
Just doubling down. All I've seen is them doubling down.
It's actually crazy. And what's even more crazy is I'm pretty sure the mayor. Was that a different article? Let me try. Mayor.
I think I have it saved. I think it is the same one.
I was looking at it earlier. Okay, yeah. So was it the mayor or the governor that was calling?
It's the Associated Press article that you're looking for. Then it was the governor of whatever state that I don't even remember what fucking state St. Louis is in. Missouri. The governor of Missouri was calling for the release of the body cam footage because the police department, the St. Louis PD has refused to release the body cam footage of the incident, or the dash cam footage as well.
Yeah.
It says didn't have a dash camera, but there is allegedly body cam footage of the incident that St. Louis PD is refusing to release.
It's very
The governor
crazy.
has called for the release of that footage, but they have not, as of when did this article come out? Well, okay, as of everything that I've read up to right now, they have not done that yet.
Mm.
Which you think that would be the first thing they did if their officers were innocent.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like
when it comes to any incident like this, you think the first thing they would do is clear their guy's name by releasing the body cam footage, but they never do that.
Because the thing is,
Ever.
like, yeah, it's an ongoing investigation. So sure, in a normal scenario, but your PD is coming under fire from public scrutiny, because of the situation. And if you're an enforcer of the law and you want to keep public tensions low because you're an enforcer of the law and you don't want people like reacting to your police officers negatively, you should probably release the footage if they're innocent, because it would show that they're innocent. Because that would keep public tensions low, and it would keep your police officers in good health and being able to do their jobs. But they aren't doing this because they're probably not innocent. Like, I get that it's an ongoing investigation, but the best possible thing you could do if they were innocent would be to release the footage.
In this scenario, honestly, I don't see how in this situation releasing the body cam footage to the public would interfere in the investigation in any way.
It wouldn't, and there's no court case, so it's not even illegal to do so because they're not getting charged with anything.
There is the court case, but they are refusing to release the footage because I could see how that would affect the court case, because then it would be obvious who's in the wrong.
I didn't even know there was a court case.
Well, because they're getting the charges dropped. The appeals against the charges on the owner.
That's a different thing, though. That's a different.
There's been no case from this against
there's
the
no
officers involved.
Yeah, there's no like trial for the PD, so that wouldn't matter. The thing that would matter would be the only thing that would involve with would be the charges for the husband, but those charges have already been lowered, and as far as I can see, there's no like court case for that. Yeah. There's been no trial set, so there's no interference for that. So the body cam footage, at least of the crash, there's no reason to not release that to the public if they're innocent. Because it wouldn't affect the ongoing investigation, because it doesn't actually change the evidence that's there. And it doesn't interfere with any court cases. It doesn't create a conflict with any court cases, because even if it did have a conflict with if there was a court case for the husband who is trying to get their charges dropped, then just don't have that part in there. Put the rest out there, because then we can see at least if they did crash into it intentionally or not.
Exactly.
Like, if they're innocent, at least post the part that we're talking about. It's not that hard.
Innocent until proven guilty, except all of the evidence that we have points to guilty.
Mm-hmm. And and not only that, but these police officers treated the bar owners. Was it a bar? I think it was a bar, right?
Yeah, it was a gay bar.
It was a gay bar. These police officers treated the bar owners as guilty until proven innocent of no crime. Of no crime. They didn't. What did they arrest them for? Like, why were they handcuffing the bar owner? I can't find this in any article. None of these articles are saying why they arrested them. Like, what alleged crime was being committed?
The only explanation that I've seen is, still cope, was the refusal to present IDs when the cops started demanding that these guys show IDs in their own bar the cops crashed into. That's the only explanation that I've seen.
What state is this?
It's Missouri.
Missouri.
But they don't have to present ID in this situation. As far as I understand how the law works, this is not a scenario where you have to present ID. They are in their own bar that they live in, by the way. Their home is the apartment above the bar.
Let me see. In addition to resisting arrest under the stop and identify, refusal to provide your ID could result in obstruction of justice charges. But that's in addition to resisting arrest under the stop and identify law.
Yeah, and I believe that would require there to be probable cause.
ID law. Which,
you don't have if the only reason you're at a place is that you fucking crashed through the wall.
Okay, let's see. If police request a driver to present their ID, the driver must give them their driver's license, and if required, the vehicle registration and proof of insurance. Yeah, but this is like every state. That's not...
That's a traffic stop.
So what is the... Wait, so the only thing that we have that could even remotely justify why these cops would need to see their ID and arrested them for that is a traffic stop law that exists in almost every state.
Yep.
That's not enough. That's not enough for me.
Yeah.
I gotta say these are completely fabricated. Like, this is a completely fabricated scenario. They crash into this place and they want to get the fire off of their backs by arresting other people. That's how I see it. And this is just yet another example of a pattern of behavior that police will do anything to not serve the public, but serve their own interests. Especially now that we're seeing that the lieutenant does not want to put these officers on suspension or temporary leave for this investigation, and they don't want to release the body cam footage because they're probably not innocent. So this is yet another example of police protecting their own and not protecting the public.
Yep.
It's actually incredible. And not only this, but where was it? I think it was the Vice article. Police didn't breathalyze or drug test the cop who drove into the gay bar. When
that was in fact the Vice article.
When we, let's see, where was it?
So what happened with that was that the excuse that that has been given by St. Louis PD is that the other officers who arrived on scene after everything transpired deemed that the officers who were involved in the crash were they did not appear intoxicated.
Yeah, me.
I call bullshit. If.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So according to Riverfront Times, St. Louis Metropolitan Police Lieutenant Colonel Rennie Kreisman, these are weird names, told reporters on Wednesday, police did not take an toxicology test or breathalyze the driver of the police SUV because there was no reasonable suspicion, quote unquote, that they had been using drugs or alcohol. So the fact that the camera didn't see that they were swerving from a parked car, at least it didn't look like it on the footage, and the fact that they drove into a fucking wall should tell you that there might be some reasonable suspicion of them being drunk. And not only that, but even if they were swerving from a parked car, that's still not enough evidence, because if you weren't drunk, then why were you having to swerve from a parked car in the first place?
It was a very intimidating car.
It's a very intimidating car. It's very scary. There is no way these cops were not under the influence in any way. And other cops not breathalyzing them or drug testing them is yet more evidence that this situation is another example of police protecting their own instead of protecting the public.
Yep. Well, okay. There is a possible other scenario that would not implicate, well, that could still implicate drugs but might not. And that would be if you fell asleep at the wheel, which is still just as bad.
Yeah, it's barely, yeah.
It's not better, but it is a possibility.
Oh man. Actually,
because, if I were to fall asleep at the wheel, my license is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are given guns and badges, and they are therefore immune to all everything.
Yeah.
Because fascism.
Oh man. So here's a one of the cops' statement. So the attorney, I'm going to preface this with the attorney is claiming that the accusation that Morris shoved an officer is false. So the officer claims, the defendant struck me hard in the chest with an open hand, causing me to temporarily lose my balance. Pierce alleged. Pierce is one of the cops, I guess. Pierce alleged that when he told Morris he was under arrest, Morris tried to flee into a walkway between buildings and attempted to strike me with the gate. So
it gets even better. The next paragraph.
Showed Vice News a bystander video of Morris going into the walkway, but the footage does not show Morris assaulting Pierce. As Morris is being arrested, the video shows him screaming, "This motherfucker in the black beanie punched me in the fucking face," in reference to another officer on screen. So not only do we have no evidence no evidence that he even touched the officer, and no evidence that he was fleeing the scene, just that he was walking away. But these cops are beating him over things that we have no evidence for. We have evidence of them beating him, but no evidence of him retaliating or defending himself or even striking them at all. That's incredible.
All they had to do is release the body cam footage.
All they have to do is release the body cam, and all of this goes away. All this goes away. And the fact that they're not suspending these officers tells me that they are probably not going to release the body cam footage. Almost probably never. That's what I'm guessing. Like the fact that
they never do.
They never do.
Unless it comes up in an act, unless they are sued and this comes up, they're not going to release body cam footage.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty incredible. I gotta say, it's... Oh, man. I really hope this... After they get the charges for Morris striking the officer, after they get those completely dropped, I really hope they just sue the shit out of this PD. That's gonna be so nice.
Dude, they fucking need to.
Mm-hmm.
It's past fucking time.
Yeah. And with all the other cop stuff going on this year, it'd be nice to actually finally see some retaliation. At least legally. God. Use
the system against the system to destroy the system.
Exactly. Now let's look at this footage. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Do you want me to string this for you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I've got a feeling I've already seen it, but still. Contact. Yes, I have seen this clip.
It's 32 seconds, so we should be fine. So let's see this. Let's see this.
See, it's a very intimidating black part.
It's a very intimidating. Not only did they not have to swerve away from it, but they were already going past it and then swerved after it.
Yeah. Like also, no pedestrian in the street. There's literally no reason for them to have swerved there, but they did anyways, directly into the bar.
Yeah, see, they started swerving after the car. They passed it already, and then they started swerving. And even if they were swerving because of this car, why would they need to do that in the first place if they weren't under the influence?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got nothing. This doesn't even... And I would like to rescind my statement about the possibility of falling asleep at the wheel. Mm-hmm. That usually involves a little more jerking of the wheel when you panic awake.
Yeah, there's no, like...
This is a very linear path.
Yeah, it's like a complete slope. There's no fucking... It's just like a regular curve. There's no, like, jerking around, and then, like, there's no struggle here. It's just they go past the car and then start swerving into the or into the bar.
Yeah, I got nothing. Fuck these guys.
This is incredible. Yeah, fuck these fucking cops.
Driver's licenses should be gone. Mm-hmm. Jobs should be gone.
Mm-hmm. They should be facing. They should be facing felony assault and breaking and entering.
Oh, for sure.
Incredible.
Destruction of property, at least. Destruction of property, wrongful imprisonment.
Mm-hmm. They need to put everything under the law against these guys.
To keep things interesting, break out the Third Amendment, quartering.
Yeah.
Quarter.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, any final thoughts for the cop stuff?
Fuck those guys.
Fuck these fucking
that's
cops.
That's all I got. Fuck
those
guys.
These fucking cops. Okay, what do you want to do?
Let's see what else we got on the docket.
We got free stuff, AI, and Biden wall.
Let's talk about the AI stuff.
Okay.
Because this one I find particularly concerning.
So we got this clip. Some Twitter user, I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce that, said, "Peak internet. AI generated CCTV footage of police arresting people wearing huge boots. Video credit, Kimish. So it's a little video of just what it says. It's AI footage of people arresting people with big boots. So what's incredible about this is how we literally have like direct evidence that sometime in the future we're going to be getting fake footage of people committing crimes which could potentially implicate them, especially if technology cannot keep up with how realistic AI generated footage is getting, if we can't find a method that reliably, no matter how realistic it looks, that can reliably tell whether or not footage is AI footage, this is just straight up dystopian. We're going to be getting footage of people who did not commit a crime, but there's going to be AI generated footage of them committing a crime, which could be admissible in court because no one knows. And that could get people arrested over crimes they didn't commit.
Or the wrong person arrested for a crime that the person going after them did commit.
Yeah.
We're literally gonna end up with people being framed for assassination attempts after they've done literally nothing. Like, the plot of Shooter is going to be a real thing, only instead of people figuring it out because, the gun was wrong, or the bullet was wrong, or whatever. I don't remember what it was. Good show, though. It's going to be, we literally have you on video taking a shot at the president.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you were somebody who happened to be in the crowd.
Oh my god.
We're going to have... It's fucked. I feel like there have been warnings about this kind of shit in the past.
Like, I feel like there was a book. What is it called? It's like a number sequence, like a date. 19. Oh, what is it called? I don't remember. But I think it was about a dystopian world where this political party that runs everything has a mass surveillance system and can fabricate evidence on the fly. I remember there being a book about something like that. 1996, 1984. This is literally 1984, okay? And this also goes hand in hand with the other thing that we saw earlier of AIs being able to completely track people's movements, AI being able to see, like you remember that clip of like these McDonald's workers or something where there was camera footage and this AI was like tracking how much they were not working and like how much money they were earning for the company or some shit like that.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
That and this is like mass surveillance system 101. Like, it's, oh man, this is completely dystopian. And oh wow,
if a company decides if you start pushing just on the corporate level, if you start pushing to unionize from inside, they could fabricate some footage of you committing a crime or breaking policy just so they can get rid of you.
Yeah.
Like law out the window. That gives the bad people unlimited power to do whatever the hell they want.
Pretty much. Because
using the legal system or whatever fucking system is in place.
Especially if AI generated content gets advanced enough to where our methods of telling whether or not it's user generated or if it's authentic, I feel like there's going to be a point where AI generated content is going to eclipse our be able to tell whether or not it's authentic. And
for sure, I have no doubt in my mind.
Once that happens, at that point we're already going to have a lot of like surveillance technology. A combination of those two things is going to allow pretty much anyone with the power to use those things to completely fabricate claims about people, which will do one of two things, maybe both. It's going to make camera footage completely pointless because it could be fabricated or it could not be fabricated. Who knows? So a lot of camera footage is going to be under heavy speculation, which would make either guilty people look a lot more innocent because any footage of them wouldn't be admissible, or it's going to make innocent people look a lot more guilty because any footage of them not doing the crime wouldn't be admissible either. So it's going to make it really hard to do either of those things, both of those things, or it's going to allow certain parties and certain people, entities of power, to fabricate crimes and charge people with those crimes, and they might not have even committed them, just to either get rid of them or punish them for something, or even, let's say there's an evil CEO. He's basically Homelander. He just does this for fun. Who knows? It could really be anything. We literally got Arasaka in this bitch, who can literally just fabricate crimes. It's quite incredible. AI, I like AI. Don't get me wrong, but this shit is dystopian. Quite crazy. Because I mean, even look at this footage already. like besides the clear big boots that look stupid, and like some of the like work being muddied, um, at a glance, if you look at it at a glance, it looks pretty real at a glance. And this is already like this is like what like a year after this kind of like generated content is coming out for the public, and this is like, and this is public. Like this is technology for that we can use. Imagine what kind of technology a company could use in 15 years
Not
when it
even
comes
in
to this.
15 years, even next year,
Yeah, like, oh man,
maybe even sooner. Because like when it comes to corporate entities, government entities, they usually have the more advanced, more expensive tech years before the rest of us do.
oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, the U.S. government was using touchscreen back in the '60s. We didn't have that shit until what 2005.
Yeah, you also got to remember too is that we already have companies like playing their hand in courts. So even if it was generated and it could be proven to be generated, who's to say that they can't just pay off the courts and just say that it's
They already. What do you mean they already do that?
yeah, or just pay off the lawyers or the
I
prosecutors?
mean, or the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
Oh
the
wait,
Supreme Court.
they already do that too.
Yeah, like who's to say that they won't do that? Because this kind of evidence will make it very will make the public believe them a lot more. And since they already have the power to influence prosecutors, lawyers, judges, and sometimes even jurors, since they already have the power to do these kind of things, who's to say that even if this is proven to be like if it's always able to be proven to be artificial, who's to say it will matter? How do we know it will even matter whether or not it can be authenticated? Because we don't. We have no way of knowing that. It's scary. It's a scary world out there.
Yep.
Oh boy. And I like AR art. Okay, I'm an AI art fan. Okay, I'm an AR enjoyer. I mean, it's not always very good, so I'm not always an enjoyer of it. But I think AI art is overall can be a cool thing, especially if you're like in game development. You have AI like procedural generation that's helping you out and shit like that. Like that kind of AI art is pretty cool. Not the stuff that steals stuff, but AI art that like helps you make art. That's cool. Okay, I'm a fan of that. Not a fan of this. Not a fan of this at all.
I'm fine with people using it as a tool, not as a replacement
Yeah.
for art. If it starts putting concept artists out of and shit out of the job, you got a problem from me.
Yeah.
It's shit's fucked, man.
Oh man.
Also, looking over this clip more, it looks like this whole time I thought it was just the boots that were AI generated, but no, it's the whole video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's welcome to Cyberpunk.
Welcome to Cyberpunk. Because there's also ways of
Christ.
obscuring this too. Like a lot of the things that give it away are like the human features, like skin, faces.
Human features, the time codes are all fucked up.
Now imagine if you just generated a video of someone breaking into a house. Okay, it's like street cam or something. And there's no like discernible features, but it's the person in clothes that look exactly like the clothes that they wear. Okay? It's the same body type, same clothes, same everything. Okay?
Low quality CCTV footage.
Low
like they
quality.
already used in court.
Like, who's to say that that will be authenticated?
Insert your own time codes, which we can do. It's just a few clicks on Premiere.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's a way of telling if it's edited or not. But again, who's to say that that will matter? Like, in civil cases, or like low-tier cases, it'll probably matter. It already does. But even if we have edited footage, that still can be admissible in court sometimes. Because a lot of people just either get paid off or they don't care. And it still influences the jury as well. Some jurors might not believe that it's actually edited.
Yep.
Who knows? There's a lot of factors at play here. But any closing statements on this AI thing?
I mean, shit's fucked.
Yeah.
What more do you want me to say? It's fucking. It's a problem.
Mm.
It. I'm kind of at a loss for words here, with this. I mean, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, now that we got that sorted, I am going to have us take a short break. So I will see you guys in about 0 0.3 seconds because I'm pausing the recording. So I'll see you guys in 0 0.3 seconds. Okay. Well, we are back. Like I said, it was like 0.3 seconds. So we took a break. I had some string cheese. I also drank some water. Yeah, so we are good to go. What do you want to talk about next? We'll talk about the free stuff or the Biden wall.
Hey, remember that border wall that Biden said he was going to stop building?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
During his presidential run?
That's crazy. How he said that we're going to stop the construction wall, and then he started doing it again. And, okay, so there is a valid comment under the thing, okay? The Biden administration cannot reallocate funding for projects that were already approved by a previous administration. They can delay it, but it has to be done by law. Young folks seriously need to bone up before posting, feel the energy, and be factual with it. But here's the thing: they literally could get away with it because laws can be revoked, laws can be amended, bills can be revoked, bills can be amended, bills they can be halted, and it's so funny because you have all these things that are all these resources that are allocated to this wall, but all of those resources literally can be reallocated, and if they can, and Biden wants to, then why is it being done? Well, probably because of Trump's presidency and having a lot of people really wanting him back. So a lot of Congress people, senators, Supreme Court, whatever, are gonna side with kind of his view. But
yeah, if you wanna make this even better, with people saying that there's nothing Biden can do, just to make it even worse, they had to waive. Where is the number at? I literally just had it. There was an exact number for the amount of. Hold on, I lost it. They had to waive 26 federal laws in South Texas to allow the water wall to continue being built.
Oh boy.
All environmental laws, I believe.
So it's not like Biden could be like, hey, how about we don't waive these laws?
Yeah.
Bam. Because he
literally use the laws that exist that are already there, preventing it from being built, to prevent it from being built. There you go. Problem solved.
Easy. Because Biden can also veto proposals, and it takes like a 2/3 majority vote to veto the president vetoing something.
So 2/3 of Congress.
And I don't think 2/3 of Congress are going to be voting in favor of the wall. Maybe like a third or half.
They are all corrupt assholes.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of Democrats would do that. And you have he cannot do anything except for delay it. It's but he can literally stop it. That's in his power to help stop it. And if he
can't stop it, he can still prevent them from breaking the laws in the places where it would be illegal to build the wall, so he can at least stop portions of it.
Mm-hmm. And even if he couldn't do any of that, that doesn't mean that if this is Biden's fault. That means it's Trump's fault and the rest of the government's fault, not Biden's fault. If he can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But
he demonstrably can.
There is a claim under this person's other thing that he actually Biden specifically ordered the gaps in Arizona to be filled. In Texas, it's congressional funding, but Biden is choosing to gut environmental laws to rush construction. Not complicated. So, there's a chance that this is actually Biden's doing, and he's actively going against his campaign promises, and Biden is actively trying to give me more reasons to not vote for him. So
yep.
It's entirely possibility that he's doing his best to prevent this, or, which is more likely, Biden is the one doing this, Like, he's the one doing it. That's probably the most likely possibility. And it's funny because he like won the election on like the free college thing and the stopping the border wall thing. That's like why he won the election. Were those like two main things?
And he has done neither of them.
And he's done neither of them.
While
Like,
proving that he can, that he has the ability to do both of those things. If you want to detour to student loan forgiveness for a minute, he said he couldn't because of Congress, right?
mm-hmm.
Because of the Supreme Court, only to then turn around and approve more money for Israel than it would have taken to relieve student loan debt.
Yeah.
By simply saying no when Congress saying no to Congress saying no. He literally just did the thing that he said he couldn't do to deliver on his campaign promise.
It's incredible. I love it.
And it's the same shit here.
Oh man, it's so funny. Like, this guy is here, like, talk about the wall and stuff. And like, okay, not only is this like kind of like a shitty wall. Like, let's be real here, guys. This is kind of a shitty wall.
Like, a wall wouldn't even fucking work. It's not gonna fix the quote unquote problem that is immigration, despite all data proving to it being a beneficial beneficial thing. But we don't talk about that.
Like, did these guys did the people who make these walls like forget that like people have ladders? Like,
okay, funny story. Modern Warfare 2's campaign, you play as a Mexican Special Forces guy.
mm-hmm.
Not only does a terrorist group use a ladder to simply climb over the wall, you also use the same ladder to just simply climb over the wall.
Incredible.
It is not hard.
And not only that, but if you don't have like an actual ladder, then if you don't have an actual ladder on hand, you could just make a ladder with branches and fiber.
And you don't even need a ladder. When the design was first coming out, there was a group of climbers, and also like I believe a 7-year-old child who just simply climbed the bars.
Mm-hmm.
It is not hard.
Not at all hard. It's, oh man,
like, this is pathetic.
Also,
like, blowtorches exist. You could just cut a hole.
It's incredible. Wall ineffective. Biden probably the one doing the wall now. I don't like Biden. I don't really like Biden.
I wish the alternative wasn't either Trump or DeSantis.
Yeah, because like I want a leftist president. It's not viable though.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. So our options are really Biden or fascism.
Shit or Hitler.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. And I don't know, man. I'm gonna look at the quote retweets real quick. Crickets from liberals when Biden does the same thing they hated Trump for. What do you mean crickets?
That was the one that I heard.
I don't.
But also, like, it's not crickets when it's something they're actively hiding from you.
Yeah.
Like, this, I haven't seen this anywhere because the Biden administration just kind of quietly approved this. I found it because of the guy that did the crickets tweet.
Mm-hmm.
And I only heard about, and he only heard about it from a what does this guy actually do? Oh, he's a conservationalist. Yeah, he works for the Center for Biodiversity. He has a reason to see it, but like, if you're a normal person and this isn't making the news rounds because the government doesn't want you to see it, which is clearly what they're fucking doing, you're not gonna see it.
Yeah.
If something is actively covered up, you don't get to be surprised when people don't fucking see it.
Mm-hmm. Also, the tweet under this, it's a 0 likes tweet, but it's just like, it's funny. Yet liberals and blue MAGA not saying shit, but blue MAGA? That's not a thing.
Fucking no, man.
Oh, it's crazy. Oh, man.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand how we can get to the point where we're basically saying like, oh, Biden wants to remove the wall. Okay, Let's elect him. Gets elected. Doesn't remove the wall. In fact, he makes it better. He makes it bigger. He expands the wall. Like, and then he flakes on all of his campaign promises. He flakes on this campaign promise. He does the Willow Project, which he later got. I don't know if it's revoked or something. But that wasn't even him. That was his administration. He's been doing like a double standard of like environmental laws. He passed the infrastructure bill, but then deletes the environmental laws to make this wall, like to build this wall more. And then he also like expands oil drilling, expands like oil imports.
Bad news about the Willow Project, by the way.
Oh yeah.
A federal district court in Alaska ruled the Willow Project can continue moving forward.
Oh, bruh.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Like he does all this stuff. I just don't really see a reason to like vote. Like, what do I get out of it if I vote for him? Because right now he's not fulfilling his campaign promises, which is like student loan forgiveness, which I would be able to take part of, if he would do that. So, but he's not doing it. So I don't have anything for that. He's not taxing people more, like rich people, like over $400,000. That was another campaign promise. He's not doing that, as far as I'm aware. He's not fulfilling the campaign promise of stopping the wall permanently or like reducing the wall. He's not doing that. He's actually making it worse. So really, what reason do I have to vote for him? I can't think of anything.
The only thing that I have is that he's simply not a a literal fascist in every sense.
And that's the only thing. That's literally the only thing. He's not a fascist. And that's it. That's it. It's like, if I have to choose between him and a Republican, I'm going to choose him. But if I have to choose between him and a leftist, why would I choose him? You know? Like, give me a reason.
He has no redeeming qualities. Other than he's not a fascist. It is that simple.
That's like the bare minimum. It's not a redeeming quality. That's the base requirement. Oh man. I don't get it. I hate American politics so much. Like, we get all these shitters and we have no alternatives because the leftists are so incompetent that they cannot properly advertise their own fucking people. Like, we had, like, the closest we ever had was Bernie, and he's not even like a true leftist. He's like he's like an in between a liberal and a leftist, and that's the closest we ever had. And even then, leftists dropped the ball because a lot of leftists didn't like Bernie. So
and then we have a lot of people who were Bernie-crats go with the fucking burning your bust shit.
Yeah.
And now they're just outright refusing to fucking vote.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had all these leftists that were so ineffective that they couldn't convince liberals that Bernie was a better alternative than Hillary Clinton. Because they're just so incompetent that they can't convince liberals to move over, at least on this issue. And that was the closest we ever had, and we still failed. So how am I supposed to believe that leftists are ever going to put forward a candidate that actually is viable? Because I don't want to vote for Biden, but I'm going to have to if it comes down to it. And it sucks. It really does suck.
Yep. Insert "This is America."
This is America. What do you would you prefer Cornel West or Marianne Williamson if they get if either one becomes viable?
I actually haven't heard that much about Cornel West.
Me either, and I haven't really heard that much about Marianne Williamson since like August.
I haven't heard anything about her since August. The last I heard of her, I really liked where she was standing at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make a declaration though, just because I know nothing about Cornel West.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I'm going to choose to abstain from this question because I am, for once, being intelligent.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd probably prefer Cornel West just because he's been an advocate for a long time. I don't really know too much about Marianne. I don't know like her I think she'd be a good politician, but I don't have no idea about if she would be a good leftist. I have no idea. I think Cornell would be a bad politician, but a good leftist, and I don't really care about the bad politician part. I'd rather prefer a good leftist than a good politician.
Is a good politician. A good politician is a scummy politician.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that. At least that's what seems to be the case.
Yeah.
Every time we get a quote unquote good politician.
So yeah,
they are really good at talking out of their ass, but not actually doing anything important.
Yeah, I think I'd probably prefer Cornel West if I had to choose, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Though if it comes down to it, I'm still gonna have to vote for Biden because from what I'm seeing, Cornel West or Marianne Williamson are neither viable candidates, and leftist spaces have not at all been convincing about why we should vote for them. Like the best advocates for them are like Vosh, and he's not the entirety of leftist spaces. He's probably netted her like 3% more than she would have otherwise. But since it's like just Vosh and like one or two other people, there's no consensus. What really needs to happen, okay, is a consensus. Like if we're gonna go in on Cornel West, or if we're gonna go on Biden, or if we're gonna go in on whoever, it has to be a consensus. We need to get a consensus because on the right, okay, we had all these like infighting, okay, DeSantis, whatever, but it's really coming down to the reason why the right's not going to win if Biden gets any of his shit together is because there is not a consensus. But we're going to lose if we don't get a consensus, and then the Republican Party picks their shit up. So that's what we need to do. We need to get a consensus. We need leftists need to just either eat their shit. Okay, they need to just eat shit and just down their pride and just vote for the best candidate that we can have. Or they need to go really hard on campaigning for these leftist candidates. They need to just go absolutely in on it. Because I'm tired of these leftists who will go, oh, we need to vote for Cornel West because he's the best one that we could probably have, and Biden sucks dick, and then they do nothing. They sit and do nothing.
Well, so here's one thing, a happy compromise, if you will, for all of the people who want to go for a third party who is further to the left, like Cornel West or some socialist. If that's what they want, great. Spend fucking 3 years campaigning to hell for them, and then at the end of that 3 years, when it comes down, if they are not a viable candidate, if they don't have the numbers to win the election, then get them and go get their supporters to go all in on whatever Democratic candidate there is.
Yeah.
On the better of the two, and then try again during the next term.
Because at least you're trying.
Because at this point, it is survival politics. It isn't fucking. It's not a pissing contest like it was before.
Yeah, like if Project 2025 goes in, it's over. It's Jover for everyone. Okay, that is America becomes Hitler too. Okay, that is the end right there. We can't let that happen right now. It's just we need to hold back the tide, and I think, like you said, if we just get all these leftists to lean in on their candidate and commit, but be willing to abandon them if we need to stave off fascism.
Get that candidate to endorse the nominee.
Yeah, oh man,
you can continue your campaign, but there comes a point where you have to take a step back and be like, okay, this didn't work out as well as we were hoping to in the time we needed it to, so let's take the best alternative for now and keep working at it until later.
Yeah, because it's not like
they refuse to fucking do that because they're fucking brain dead.
Yeah, because it's not like they can't they wouldn't be able to campaign for them the next term and then bring in everyone back again. Okay, so you have a certain amount of leftists that campaign. They get their candidate to vote for the nominee. Okay, they weren't able to make progress that election. Okay, next term They do it all over again, but then they just keep growing, okay, over the years. They just keep growing every term. They get more and more supporters for their candidate every term until eventually they have enough supporters to be viable. Like, you can't, I don't think it's possible to get one candidate that just comes out of nowhere, all right? Because, like, even look at Bernie. He didn't come out of nowhere. He was steadily growing support. Yeah, like, he was a career politician. Like, he was a senator. Like, he already had some sort of base. We need people who already have some sort of base. We need people who... We need to grow their supporters. We can't just, like, front a politician out of nowhere and expect them to win. We need to grow them first. And I don't think we're going to be able to do that if we lose to Republicans. So what we should do is grow them, but still vote for Biden.
Grow them in a vat. Clone the perfect leftist.
Yeah, exactly. Clone the perfect leftist. Someone who's pragmatic and idealistic. Easy.
Exactly. Somebody who actually does shit, unlike the entirety of the online left.
Mm-hmm. Because if Cornel West or whoever is the new candidate, whoever's just like on the docket, if there was a consensus, I would lean in on them 100%. But there's not. We have like 5 different candidates that we want to do. Candidates from last term are abandoning us, like Fetterman. We have not even a candidate. He was a state representative. But
yeah,
like
he was a state rep, and now he's doing nothing.
Yeah, and well, he's actually. I'm pretty sure he actually left the left. He's doing like the whole "I left the left" thing.
God damn it!
Yeah, so even people we fronted last term, for at least the midterms. I think it was the midterms last year. Yeah, I think it was midterms last year. We like even those people are like not working out. So we need to get a consensus, lean in on them, and then like we need to do something. Because I'm tired of fronting these candidates that have no viability and then completely getting people to go away from Biden when he's our only option. Because, yeah, I get that he's anti-Palestine. I don't like that either, okay? I
don't like Biden.
I don't, yeah.
There's nothing about him that I like.
He has, like, no... If you have a pros and cons list with Biden, like the pros side is like completely empty. The cons list is just like a billion things. But if you take the pros and cons list of Republican, it's like 20 times more cons, but also no pros. So it's like it's not even like who's the lesser evil or like who's a better candidate. It really is like back to the who's the lesser evil thing. It's like Obama politics now again. But the difference is that at least in Obama politics, we were still growing Bernie as a candidate. And not only that, but fascism wasn't the other option because Republicans were not as explicit with their plans. But now they are. Now the alternative is fascism if we don't step up. Maybe when we were just yapping a lot, I'm going to give a clear plan or clear, like, position, okay? I don't like Biden. I think Biden is a bad person. I think he would be a bad president again. He has not fulfilled any of his campaign promises, but if we had a Republican, it would be about a billion times worse. Because at least we wouldn't have, with a Republican, sure, or with Biden, sure, he wouldn't be codifying anything good into law, but he might at least stop one or two bad things that would be worse for everyone else otherwise. And if Republican wins, we get Project 2025, which is the end of everything. So we either get bad or worse. And right now, I think I'm going to choose bad over worse. Because right now, the good candidates are not viable. We don't have a consensus on a candidate. We have leftists who aren't doing anything. And I think that is what is going to kill us. Is leftists who aren't doing anything. I would be willing to go away from Biden and completely abandon him if it wasn't for like dipshit leftists who aren't willing to actually do anything or come to a consensus on an issue. And that's my position.
I would agree wholeheartedly.
And I'm glad you do, because I do not want to get into an argument about why Biden is a useless candidate for 3 hours like Vosh did.
God.
So, yeah. But anyways, that was a lot of yapping about Biden and the wall, and just Biden as a candidate. Now we got.
build a wall around the whole country, even on the coastline.
I think we should build a wall around
Make it a
Florida.
giant bowl.
Okay,
That's
and
true,
then
that's
let
true.
Florida flood and just completely like dump all of our water from the rest of the country just in Florida, let it drown, and then bring it back. Okay, just bring all that water back after Florida drowns. Easy,
Exactly.
easy peasy. Then we got DeSantis out of the race, and we don't have to deal with alligators. Alligators from fucking Florida. We don't have to deal with them anymore. Easy.
I don't know. They're largely aquatic. They'd probably be fine.
Oh man. All right. Well, now next on the docket, we got free stuff. You want to talk about free stuff? I like free stuff. I love free stuff.
Great.
Free
All
stuff
right.
is awesome. Okay. Let's see. Free stuff. All right. So we got two.
Significantly less depressing topic, but also
Yeah.
still infuriating.
Still infuriating, but way nicer. Okay. We got two articles. One about California, and one about Denver. Okay. I'm gonna look at the California one first. So let's see if I can look at the stats. Okay, yeah. So I clicked on one of the sources, McKinsey and Company. Oh my God, go away. So a lot. So I think it was $750 a month to LA's homeless. And in the experiment, they found that there was a small increase in employment. Fair enough. A huge boost to well-being. Okay. Positive feedback loops. And it looks like that is all the source says. But life satisfaction when it comes to countries that have high levels of income, like that rises, and that correlates with the well-being that we saw in this experiment. Or this is wait, what is this? Was this for the LA thing? Oh no, never mind. And well, let me look. Let me read this article itself. 750 months over a year. When it came from. Also were expected and positive interim report. Miracle Money. Let's see. This was okay. Yeah, California. Demographic characteristics, key findings. Okay, so, all right. So yeah, it's the interim report source in the Los Angeles magazine article. Let's see. After 6 months, people who received the Miracle Money also reported being closer to having enough money to meet all their basic needs on a scale of 1, i.e. completely, to 5, i.e. not at all. As compared to the control group, this was a significant improvement for those receiving Miracle Money. P is less than 0.5, with no change in control group. So, what this is saying, as far as I'm aware, is that people who received the money after 6 months, they were able to meet all their basic needs very significantly. Because, I mean, look at this. This is like most of them being at least around a 4. So, so that's a pretty significant increase from like 5 to a little bit above a 4 and almost to a 3. So like they went from like a 4 to like almost to a 3 within 6 months. Like that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's almost like when people have their basic needs met, they do better.
Exactly. And when they get money, they can meet their basic needs. Because when they're on the wait list, they're at a static line of like nothing. They're like at a 4 and they are doing horrible. But once they get on the money, after 6 months, it goes up pretty significantly over time.
Yep.
It's quite crazy.
And it's almost like when you give people enough free money to meet their basic needs, they don't just go and blow it all on like drugs and
Oh yeah,
fucking toys.
because you know what's
They
incredible?
spend it on the things that they need to be alive.
This figure shows the self-reported monthly budget allocation at at month 6 from those receiving miracle money. The single biggest expense was for food, followed by housing expenses. Similar amounts were spent on transportation and clothing. Healthcare costs only made up 6% of the monthly expenses, with the remaining 14% on other expenses. So we got transportation at 12.7%, clothing at 11.5%, food at 36.6%, and healthcare at 6.2%, and then housing at 19.5%. And other being 13.6 would be things like, I don't know, internet. So I don't know.
Entertainment, bills mostly.
And
Rent.
possibly drugs. So, and that's only 13.6%. The rest is food. So we have here, sure, it's self-reported, but I mean, just look at this. Their quality of life raised so much. And this is just one experiment. And this was a pretty low amount of money, too. $750 a month? That's not amazing. That's really good, especially for a homeless person. But their living standards increased so much. So much. Just for $750 a month. Like, even just from the perspective, even if you take, yeah, it's bad for the economy, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a shit, okay? Free stuff is good, actually. I don't give a shit if you think it makes them lazy or anything like that. Because even if you, let's see, can I find an employment
We are
thing?
the second most we are one of the most overworked countries in the world. People have a right to be a little fucking lazy.
Yeah, not only
America's work culture is is just it is so toxic it drives people to fucking suicide. And you're gonna tell me that like the UK has implemented the 32-hour work week. Productivity went up.
yeah,
Like people have a right to live, which this would enable them to do, live fulfilling lives. And we already spend a third of our lives fucking working, and that's it, just working. We have a right to be a little fucking lazy every once in a while.
yeah.
People deserve to make more for doing less.
And not only that, but these guys are also like homeless.
Exactly.
Like, they need these resources, and it helps them. It helped them significantly. And I don't think this experiment accounted for employment, but I think the next one does. And I think in the next one it does say that like employment also rose.
Yeah, wasn't Denver's experiment like an across? Wasn't that? I believe Denver's was an across the board.
Yeah,
like it wasn't just people who were homeless. It was. Hold on.
Began giving cash payments to around 800 people experiencing homelessness in December.
Okay, never mind.
3 groups. Group A reported 20. Oh wait, 3 groups. Okay. Mine mirror the racial and gender demographics of people experiencing homelessness in Denver. Okay. So, Group A was people who received $6,500 up front and $500 per month afterwards. Group B, people who received $50 per month as a wait, no. Oh, sorry, never mind. The project split participants into 3 groups. People who receive $1,000 per month, Group A. People who receive $6,500 a month $6,500 up front and then $500 per month afterwards. Okay? And then that's Group A, or B, sorry. Oh my god, I'm fucking... Holy boy. Holy boy. And then people who receive $50 per month as a control group, Group C. So Group A, the people who made $1,000 per month, they reported living in a home, they own or rent, upwards of, it looks like, about 33%. So they gained like about 30, there was a 33% increase in like houselessness, or housedness. Housing. I don't know. Being housed. And then Group B, who received money up front and then $500 per month afterwards. Fucking either a firework or a bomb just went off. Group B, who got upfront money and then $500 per month afterward, saw a upwards of 40%. And you know what's funny? Group C, with only $50 per month, still also saw a rise in their standard of living. Only $50 per month, and they still saw a rise. And they're being housed. Quite crazy.
It's almost like the corporate belief that if you give people free shit, they become lazy, or simply just blow it all on meaningless shit. Is a complete lie made up to enrich the rich and keep us poor.
Oh man.
It kind of, I mean, maybe a little conspiracy brained, but it kind of sounds a little intentional.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Especially with how fucking clear the results are.
In Group A, unsheltered homelessness rates dropped from 6% to 0%. Group B's rate fell from 10% to 3%, and Group C's rate dropped from 8% to 4%.
Which, yeah, cut it in half, even with just $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing what that does.
It's absolutely crazy. Let's see. Who reported sleeping outside? Less people. Dropped from 23% to 10% for the group as a whole. Nice. Let's see. On average, everyone felt more confident about their future housing. Groups A and B also increased their full-time employment, a figure that remained unchanged for people in Group C, which is only $50 a month. All three groups reported they have experienced a decreased food insecurity over the course of the 6 months. However, researchers did report that all participants showed declines in overall mental health. So that's probably, I'm guessing, the decline in overall mental health is because either they were worried about not being on there anymore, or the fact that they're entering the job market, which is, that's going to be a pretty big mental detriment.
Especially considering we're probably talking retail jobs.
Oh yeah, for sure, because these are yeah. But I mean, Group A and B increased their full-time employment. That literally disproves any ideas about them just being lazy or giving people free stuff, making people lazy or not want to work. These people literally increased their employment because they were given free stuff. Full-time employment too, not part-time, full-time. They got full-time jobs because they were given free money. Isn't that crazy?
I know, right?
Crazy.
It's insane.
Oh man.
It really brightens my day knowing that I have been lied to my whole life about money and productivity.
Mm-hmm. Like, standard economics, especially like trickle-down economics, would always say that if you give people free stuff, it makes them lazy. They're freeloaders, they're moochers, everything. Like, oh man. Oh, and that when people, I loved in the video I just made, there was a point that if you give people, there's a welfare state, and you give people free stuff, they won't be grateful. But here's a quote: "It's easy to dismiss when it is someone else's struggles, but the right crisis can cause many of us to lose everything," said April Marie, a program participant, in a statement Tuesday. "The DBIP family literally kept me alive this year, and I am forever grateful. People aren't just going to be like going to take it for granted. Like they're given the opportunity to turn their life around because of free money and free resources. They're not going to just be like, thanks, bitch, and then leave. They're going to be grateful."
I'm convinced politicians just hate poor people.
That's what I'm saying.
I really think it is just that simple.
Oh man. Like, it increases their employment. It decreases their food insecurity. It increases their housing. And it allows these people to live off the streets. I think it was for Group A, it decreased housing to 0. Yeah, it decreased homelessness to 0. And Group B's rate dropped from 10 to 3%. This is crazy. How we've been told our entire lives that giving people like welfare and giving people stuff is bad for you and is bad for the economy. But clearly not. Clearly not. It's better for them and it's better for the economy because the job market sees an increase in labor power. So it's clearly better for everyone if we do this.
It's like we have this. We have multiple demonstrations that the UBI works.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we have that MIT article from a couple months ago pointing out that with solar alone, we could we could drive energy prices into the negative.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the excuse again for any of this shit?
Yeah.
Because the only thing that I've heard delaying free power or a UBI for the entire country is that we require more research.
Yeah.
But at some point, you do get to the point where requiring more research is just it's just deliberate inaction.
Mm.
It really is that simple. It's at this point it's been proven so many times over that it has to be deliberate.
Yeah.
There's no way it fucking isn't.
And if we look at like other shit, I mean, like in other countries, we even see like increases in other countries like Finland, and the McKinsey and Company in the other article that was linked. Finland said it at a moderate level, and they saw increase in housing, students unemployed. I think it decreased. Let's see. Incomes. Okay, this is amount of money that people will get based on their needs. I think. So very significantly. I see. Okay. They saw increases in employment, huge boost to well-being. At least according to this article too, in the Finnish experiment, their mental health actually looks like it increases.
That's probably due to the fact that, unlike America, they don't have to worry as much about things being simply stripped away from them and never given back.
Not only do they get free, like they get not free healthcare, but like they get like good healthcare, and therapy is usually like implemented into that.
There you go.
Mental health care is implemented into that, so obviously their mental health is going to be increasing.
Yeah. Well, then again, America doesn't believe in mental health care, so
yeah. So
yeah,
there's that.
There's that explanation.
Oh man. Positive feedback loops. Let's see. At the individual level, a monthly guaranteed an entirely unconditional cash sum had a liberating effect on many recipients. Better feelings of health, happiness, cognitive abilities, and financial security seem to have instilled a sense of confidence that encouraged the recipients to branch out and seek more expansive opportunities, unpaid work, training, or employment. Unpaid work. That's literally like the best possible outcome for the job market. Training or employment. Those are the other two best possible outcomes for the job market. Like, isn't it crazy how when you get to the point where you're giving people free stuff, even if it's just homeless people, you have benefits to both them and the economy? Like, there's literally no reason to not do it.
The right just hates good things.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Like they just hate good things. I don't think it's any more complicated than that at this point.
I'm starting to not think either. It's pretty crazy. Oh man.
Like, yeah, that's a really reductive thing to say, but also like they keep demonstrating that to be the case over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. I love how like every turn, like Reaganomics gets disproved like every time. Every single time something new comes out, it's always disproving Reaganomics.
And yet we keep doing Reaganomics.
It's crazy.
It's almost like when your government is run by the wealthy, they just do the thing that's going to enrich the wealthy.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, bro. Well, on the topic of employment, let's talk about quiet quitting. Let's
quiet quitting. I remember this from a few months ago. I wish people kept talking about it.
You're introducing a
It's I'm very excited to quiet quit on my own job. Here, I'm gonna stream this for you.
I am glad that is something that I did.
Where is change my? Right.
Actually, quitting my job for a different job, mind you, but you know.
Before we move on, though, I do want to lay out clearly for the welfare thing. Okay. Welfare is good for people. Okay. It increases employment, decreases food insecurity, increases people exploring their academic passions. It increases or decreases houselessness, and it decreases homelessness, and overall, it's just better for the economy. It allows people to get higher paying jobs, to get jobs in general, or to follow their passions. I think that's better for literally everyone involved. If it increases the job market and increases the labor power of the job market, then I don't see how that's a bad thing for the economy. If it increases the people's well-being and their availability to follow their passions, I don't think that's a bad thing. And if it does enable some people to not work, I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think some people can just not work. I don't think that's bad. People don't have to work. And if this not only allows some people to just not work, but also still benefits the economy, I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think it's laziness. I just don't think work is inherently good. Okay? If it does help the economy, which it does, and it seems to, and it helps these people, which it does, then I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be doing this ubiquitously. I don't see any reason why not everyone in America should be getting $1,000 a month. Okay? I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be doing that. I don't see any reason. Because I can tell you...
Something higher taxes.
Something higher taxes.
That's the only excuse I can think of.
And even then, it's like, okay, but you're still going to be taking home more money. You're still going to be getting more money that's going to allow you to do things. Even if you're getting more taxes, you're still going to be able to do more with the funds that you're getting.
Cool, higher taxes. Yes, you're paying taxes, and yes, you are paying into the thing that directly benefits you. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
If we implement a greater progressive tax system, you could actually, in theory, be paying less in taxes while receiving more from the system that is supposed to be set up to benefit you, but is instead set up to screw you repeatedly.
It's incredible. Also, Justin just messaged me. I'm muting.
Before we start the video, I would like to piss.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it then. Actually, I'm gonna you go take a piss. I'm gonna summarize. So while Parker is taking a piss, I think it's genuinely concerning that with European experiments in UBIs and universal basic incomes that are so successful, they show they show on the record increases in employment, increases in food security, increases in well-being, increases in academic passions. And then now we're doing these same things here. We're seeing increases in all the same things here in America, which proves that America is not a unique scenario in this matter. I really don't see why we shouldn't be doing this ubiquitously. But that's all I have to say. So I'm gonna unpause after he's done pissing. We are back. See, it's only like a fraction of a second that we're gone. Okay. But now we're back and we're gonna be watching this video. You ready, Parker?
I'm ready to listen to this absolute fucking loser continue to be a corporate ghoul.
That's what I'm saying. And you're watching this. I'm streaming, right?
Yeah, you are streaming.
Okay.
You're introducing a cancer into your culture. Eventually, you're going to have to do surgery and cut it out. I don't know where this started. It's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Off to a
great start.
Off to a great start. So, some context.
So quiet quitting.
For those who don't know who Kevin O'Leary is, he is a very wealthy business owner. He is one of the sharks on the show Shark Tank. And if you don't know what Shark Tank is, one, I envy you. Two, basically, it's a show where young entrepreneurs, or well, entrepreneurs in general, trying to start up a business, they go onto this show and pitch their idea or their product to the sharks, which are these wealthy business owners, and the whole show is them bidding or denying business ideas. So they bid on it and try to buy out the business, or they just say, no, fuck you. So basically, he's just a rich asshole, and that is his whole personality.
Let's fucking go.
And I mean, you have to be a narcissist to go by fucking Mr. Wonderful and be a business owner.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you excited?
I am so excited, and I definitely haven't already watched this video 3 times.
I've been up for 2 hours. Okay, I don't know if my brain.
Not today, but like in the past. Like I knew this video from memory. All right.
Oh man.
This man is a fucking ghoul.
Let's fucking get this shit. Oh man.
So quiet quitting, a temporary pandemic hangover, byproduct of low unemployment, or a long-term thing?
Okay, wait. How is either of those things? How would either of those things be the case? The quiet quitting is not the product of low unemployment. Unemployment rates do not have anything to do with quiet quitting. Quiet quitting has to do with the working conditions of the working class, not how many people are employed. That doesn't make any sense. And what was the other thing? It was like
Byproduct of the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
That is kind of true because of the pandemic.
I mean, I guess that
a lot of people learned that they don't need to be working themselves as hard as they have been for their companies.
Not only that, but I think a lot of people just got so tired of everything.
That too.
So I can see the pandemic thing, but a byproduct of low unemployment, that doesn't make any sense. They're not even related.
And as for a long-term thing, I fucking hope so.
Me too. I fucking hope so.
You know, Shep, the economy's changing. Obviously, we're going into a whole new metric where some people work at home, some people work at distance, some people go back to the office. We don't know how it's going to shape out in the long run. It's more project-based. In other words, you're hired and you're trusted to finish things off. Now, some ideas are bad ideas, and some ideas are stupid ideas, but very rarely can you combine both.
Hey, you can. It's called being a capitalist.
I don't... What is he even getting at? Like, okay.
And that's what we have here. This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard in launching a career.
It's not an idea. Quiet quitting is just a thing you do. It's not an idea. Like, we just give a name to the thing that happens. Like,
but it is an idea. It's an idea that you act out.
Well, the thing
but he's saying
it's not like a lot of it's not like it's not a policy prescription. That is what I'm saying. It's like something that you prescribe to do. It's just something you just do.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, a lot of places don't realize that didn't realize that's what people were doing.
Yeah.
Until they saw the TikToks.
Yeah, like a lot of people just came to work, did their job, and went home. Before 2023, that wasn't anything. That was just doing your job. Now it's quiet quitting, and now the idea of quiet quitting is the dumbest thing ever. But people have been doing that since work has been like since the idea of work started. People have been quiet quitting.
Yeah. I mean, almost every video response that I have seen to this video, the title has simply been something along the lines of "doing your job is not quitting your job," because that's what quiet quitting is. It is simply doing your job and not doing somebody else's job, or doing more of your job than you need to do to fulfill your job responsibilities.
I mean, that's how you fucking.
That's all it is.
And if it's a bad business decision, then why does negotiating for higher pay when you get the responsibilities of other people? Why is that a common business? Like, why is that a common practice amongst more corporate areas? Like, when you get more work, people negotiate for a raise because they're getting more workload. That's common practice. But that would be technically quiet quitting because they're only willing to do the job that they're asked to do, or that's in the job description. They're only willing to do that, and they're going for a raise. That's not quiet quitting, but it would be according to him and according to his definitions.
Yeah, well, he's also an idiot, so you gotta remember that.
That's fair enough.
I think he does go into that later on in the video.
Oh, okay. Let's
I'm not sure. It's been a while.
I guess we'll see it, I guess.
And what I'm hoping I can do, and I've told the recruiters, because I've got about 10,000 people inside of the companies that we're investors in, plus the supply chains, I've asked them, can we identify these people early and help them get jobs with our competitors? Because this is the most competitive weapon.
But he said it's the dumbest and stupidest thing ever, and the title is it's going to ruin your career. But he's already like joking about wanting to get these people jobs with the competitors. So they're gonna have a job either way. It's just not at your place.
Well, yeah, because all he cares about is enriching himself.
Yeah, so
that's the only thing he gives a shit about, because he's an investor. I said business owner. He's not. I don't think he's actually a business owner.
but he's an investor.
He's just an investor.
Yeah.
He makes money by moving money.
So
Because he's a scumbag.
and if he is a business owner, it's definitely a hedge fund. So
for sure.
There's that. But so even though this is a kind of a kind of a facetious statement, but he's already kind of deconstructing his own statements or like own claim a bit, because he's already saying that there's ways that these people can get jobs, because a manager or like corporate could give competitors, if they apply to a competitor's place, they could give them a glowing recommendation, and then they would be hired at that place, which that would feel like the competition, even if they are a lazy worker. That would be good for the business that they left and good for them. So how is it going to ruin their career? I get that this is a facetious statement, but it's already kind of like this entire claim is already kind of falling apart, and it's only been a minute.
I don't think he's smart enough to go through with giving the person a recommendation to his competitor. I think he's just gonna fire them and be like, "Oh yeah, this person's a lazy piece of shit because they did the thing I hired them to do."
Like, this is definitely a facetious statement, but this is definitely something that you could do and that people would do. But he's not smart enough to do it, even though he's the one making the joke. You know? Oh man.
I've ever seen. If you're a quiet quitter, you're a loser.
Says the guy who couldn't even afford to set up a green screen.
Like, he doesn't even have like an actual fucking like office space. He has to fucking green screen an office space. He's wearing fucking Sunday like Hawaii pants with this random bullshit in the background, and wearing a suit top to make himself look professional in his rinky-dinky office with absolutely no cord management.
Zero cord management.
Absolutely no cord management. Whatever this is.
Desk in front of like 3 different computers, over on the corner, in the other corner. Mm-hmm. His printer is right next to him. Does he have I see 3 modems. Is that 3 modems over there with a corded phone?
I have no fucking
next
clue.
To him? Dude, what is this office space?
Like, this is like the most loser shit I've ever seen. Like, I'm in my room.
My dude.
I'm wearing just a shirt and like sweatpants. They're both the same style color. My stuff's in the background. I'm chilling here. I got nothing to hide. He's green screening an office space, wearing a suit top while wearing Hawaii pants, flip-flops, with random bullshit in the background, no cord management, absolutely lazy, and he's on a call talking about how people who are doing their jobs are lazy, and that is the most loser behavior I've ever heard in my entire life. Like,
this dude, I guarantee you, this man has never worked a day in his life.
Definitely not.
Do I want to look that up? No, because if I'm wrong, I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I don't give a shit. He's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm completely fine lying, okay, about how this guy is has never done a single work. His hands are soft, okay. You want?
Oh, no doubt in my mind. You do not get that wealthy while doing actual work. All right.
Exactly.
You just don't. That's like, it is a mathematical, like it is a fact.
Like,
you do not get that wealthy from doing actual work. You get that wealthy by pushing money, by moving money.
Like, listen, okay?
By owning shit.
American truck driver, you are the one being ripped off by people like this. People who sit in front of a green screen spouting nonsense and getting businesses to do their bidding and investing in businesses. These are the people that get rich, not you. You may get well off and well enough to supply yourself and your family, but this person gets well enough to supply his family for generations and supply himself for his entire lifespan with no security issues.
Off the back of your labor.
Off the back of your labor. That's who's getting... That's your boss right there, okay? Not you making, anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 a year, which is pretty good, But this guy's making millions a year off of your back, off of your labor, doing no work, and being able to supply his family for generations, himself for his entire lifespan, no security issues, while you get to work paycheck to paycheck and working sleepless nights, driving from corner to corner of the U.S. Over the course of many days, not being able to have interactions with society, not being able to see your family, and all you're making is $100,000 a year. Well, this guy makes tens of millions a year just from investing. Nah, I don't like it, bro. I don't think you should like it either.
Guess who doesn't have shit?
Him. He's completely done for.
Power to the workers, baby. You said it yourself, Kevin.
Exactly.
And find a way to work with your team. Really, it's about culture. You know, I'm an investor in small business in America, 50 to 500 million. That is 65% of our economy. These are family businesses. You build a culture. When you bring somebody in that slams shut their laptop at 5 o'clock, you're introducing a cancer into your culture.
No. So he's literally just advocating for people to just do more work than they get paid for.
Yep.
Awesome.
Eventually, you're going to have to do...
There's no doubt. There's no... I mean, it really is that simple.
Yeah.
And he does expound on that. It gets worse, trust me.
Culture. When you bring somebody in that slams shut their laptop at 5 o'clock, you're introducing a cancer into your culture. Eventually, you're going to have to do surgery and cut it out. The whole idea would be avoid these people. I don't know where this started. It's the worst idea I've ever heard because it's against what we do in business. We try and build...
It's against what you do in business. It's against what you do. You want to increase your profit margins by squeezing every single amount of labor you can out of the worker and getting them to do unpaid work because you want them to go above and beyond in pursuit of a raise or a promotion that you'll never give them. That's what you do, and that's against what you do in business, not against what the working class does. The working class wants to get rent. If you pay them for their job, they're going to do their job. If they only do their job, then it still allows them to do the one thing that they're having a job for. So it's not what they do. What they quiet quitting is what they should be doing. What you should be doing as a businessman is ripping them off. But them quiet quitting is the retaliation to that. And you shouldn't be complaining when you're ripping them off and they're retaliating against you ripping them off. You're actively putting them in a position where you're the one putting pressure on them. And since they're giving you pressure back, that's entirely your fault. You're the one that put them into this position. What do you think? What do you think?
I agree. But also, notice that he still hasn't actually defined what quiet quitting is.
Yeah, that's true. He hasn't actually said what it is. We're 2 minutes in.
He was gesturing at it, and we're halfway through the video. Like, he'll gesture at it and say, oh, it's a bad thing, it's stupid, it's dumb, worst idea ever. Something about slamming a laptop, about, being done working when you're supposed to be done working. Because that's kind of what you're supposed to do. That's work. You're there for a specific window. Congratulations. You know what, you know how to read. But like he hasn't defined it. He's just sitting here bitching about a thing. He doesn't even know what it is.
Yeah. Does he? Oh man.
Teams that work together to achieve something, set objectives and work together.
That's
achieve
a work.
What?
That's a work. Okay, he's defining a worker co-op. It's funny too because he's defining what he's defining that people should be like. He's giving the example of the socialist alternative. Unironically, he's building himself his own. He's digging his own grave because he's calling the working class who's doing their jobs losers, and then he is describing what they should be doing. And as he's describing what he should be doing, he describes the socialist alternative. Like, bro, this is like the most clearest cut example of the bourgeoisie sowing the seeds of their own destruction.
They always do.
They always do.
It doesn't matter whether you're working anymore at 6 a.m. or 2 in the morning. You're just getting your job done. That's
called having a job.
Yes, that is what you hire the person to do.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
You hired them to get their job done.
You can read a paper that you wrote. Congratulations. Your brain is still broken.
freedom the economy's given you now on a distance basis. Nobody's asking you to work 9 to 5. They're asking
That's the job description though.
you to get your job done. If you
That's what
walk in your interview and say, I only work from 9 to 5 and then I stop working, I can't wait to get you into my competitor. Help me find these people.
So then it doesn't ruin your career. Okay. So he's saying that these people only want to do the job that they're given, but then he's saying that they should only be doing the job that they're given? I need to rewatch this. What is this guy even saying?
Economy's given you now.
I think what he's saying, he doesn't like it when people do the job they're hired to do, because that obviously hinders the amount of labor power you can extract from them, right? But he when he does find these people, he wants to get them to his competitors so that it hurts their business, because they're not going to push back as hard on that or whatever.
Yeah.
Which in turn helps him gain more of a monopoly over the market, because he has all the employees that'll work harder and stay later for less money. So he's having to pay less, which makes him richer while making his competitors less wealthy.
Great.
In the morning, you're just getting your job done. That's the freedom the economy's given you now on a distance basis. Nobody's asking you to work 9 to 5. They're asking you to get your job done. If you walk in your interview and say, I only work from 9 to 5 and then I stop working, I can't wait to get you into my competitor. Help me find these people. This is like a virus. This is worse than COVID.
It's worse than COVID. This disease that killed three to fucking 6 million people.
Something like that.
And fucking actually let's look this up right now. COVID map. Where was the one that I used to look at? Was it this one?
That one's from the CDC.
It was like a map tracker. I forgot what it was. Data. COVID deaths map. John Hopkins. Flashbang.
Right now we're looking at about almost 7 million deaths.
Almost 7 million deaths globally. And quiet quitting, people doing their jobs, is worse than the disease that killed 7 million people globally.
Well, hold on. That number was lower when this video came out. This isn't a new video. When did this come out? A year ago?
1 year ago. So it was after COVID stopped.
It was still bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still fucked.
This was after the 6 million figure. So let's just round it to 6. Let's just round it down to 6 million. Okay.
Yeah.
What he's saying is that quiet quitting, you, a member of the working class, just doing your job, is worse than the disease that killed 6 million people over the course of 2 years. I don't know what else to say. It's just like, what is this?
Almost, to quote Kevin O'Leary, it's almost like the bourgeoisie are a cancer that are going to need to be cut out at some point.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, that's real.
Man, I don't remember that quote being in the video, but Jesus Christ.
God.
All right, I got it. You're on the fence about quiet quitting. All day long around here, we've been reporting on what an awful day it was on the street. Do you see the market downward trend continuing now?
Yeah, I do, for a while. I mean, we've really got to adjust to the hawkish comments that Powell made today, and that's okay. I've seen this movie multiple times. Any investor that's invested for more than 20 years has been through multiple cycles like this. And what happens is, at the end of the day, you get that jolt down almost 1,000 points. Volatility is really the hallmark of Fed rate hikes. But we have a remarkably strong economy, Shep. And that's because we printed over $6 trillion, and it's still sloshing around out there. The reason we have
There's a lot of yapping.
Is we keep printing. So, we've got a lot of bills, keep printing money. We're going to have this problem systemically till we stop doing this.
Except he just told another lie. Because inflation isn't because we keep printing money.
Oh, yeah.
We know this. This has been demonstrated. Inflation is because corporations are hiking prices to generate more profits.
Mm-hmm.
Wow! It's almost like this has been proven by multiple studies over the course of the last year. So yeah, that's just another lie.
I also love how people always cite like debt and inflation or like printing of money to see like why inflation is a thing. But the thing is that like even if you print more money, that's still going to other countries that we're doing deals with other countries, we're importing stuff. So that's going to be a lot of that is going to be going towards other countries that are importing materials for us. So if inflation is so bad and it's because we're printing more money, then I don't see why we would like if we okay, let me reset. Okay. We print a lot of money, okay? We're a big money printer, okay? It's like Gmod, okay? We have a bunch of money printers.
My God, shut up.
But just like in Gmod, it's not the money printers that are causing prices to go up. It's the admins who are setting the prices, okay? So it's just like in Gmod, corporations are the ones that set the prices. The other countries are the ones that set the prices for us importing materials. Other companies in other countries are setting the prices for that. Us printing more money to compensate for that and taking on debt so we can afford it is not what's the driving force for inflation. The driving force is capitalism. Companies trying to increase their profits is the driving force for driving force for inflation. That's what the problem is. And just like in Gmod, it's always the admin's fault. Okay? But yeah.
I hate that analogy so much.
But it works, okay?
It works.
You can't tell me
it
wrong.
It works, but words cannot describe how much I fucking hate that analogy. Oh my God.
Anyway,
But yeah, inflation isn't a thing that just happens. All right, it is simply companies hiking prices because they know they can extract more profit out of people when they have more money.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple.
It's not.
All they have to do is not do that, and things don't get worse. But they do that.
Yeah, like
so things get worse.
Inflation. I'd say inflation is like somewhat of a natural occurrence. Like eventually there will be inflation, but the amount of inflation that we're seeing is not natural at all.
No, it's not, and that's, like I said, that's been demonstrated. I'd have to pull them back up again, but it's been demonstrated by multiple studies now that modern inflation is not traditional economic inflation. It has been dubbed greedflation because it is caused by corporate greed.
Yeah, and shrinkflation is evidence of that.
That too. Why do you think you buy a bag of Doritos and you end
there's
up
like
with
4 in there? Like there's like 4 in there, whereas like before, like in like 10 years ago, we'd have like a whole fucking giant bag that's like filled to the brim. Now there's like 4 in there. Like, you know, like Pop-Tarts are like 20% smaller than they used to be. Like
exactly.
But they're the same price, they're even more expensive. So it's like if inflation was really a thing, then shrinkflation wouldn't be a thing. It would be shrink deflation because things would be getting smaller and the prices would be decreasing. But because greedflation is a thing, shrinkflation is a thing. Oh man, you can see evidence of this everywhere. Even just like for a layperson, they just go outside and you can see it.
Debate the politics of it, but the midterms are coming, and I'm going to
which we won, by the way. We beat the shit out of midterms.
Literally.
Easy.
Making a assumption right now that after the midterms there'll be no more bills printing any more money. Not that
I think that was wrong.
but I think we're done doing this now.
He was wrong again. I love watching these people get fucking smacked in the face by real life.
Yeah.
Chair Powell said more rate hikes are coming. Sounds like more and more are coming until they see inflation is under control. Is that the right move?
I think it is because we're at 8.2%. So if you're sitting in cash, you're basically being taxed at 8%. But really, half of this inflation supply chain damage. And so what we really need to do is we've got this remarkable situation we've never had before. We're at full employment with remarkably hyperinflation. That's never happened before. So you have to start to question the productivity of full employment.
Oh my God.
Oh man. So basically, workers being lazy and just doing their job. Let me repeat. Workers being lazy by doing their job is causing inflation, hyperinflation. Definitely not the companies who set the prices.
Yep.
Like the prices are manually determined. They're not. This is not a fucking
The retail gods raised the price of cheese to $12.
Like it's
It was the retail gods, definitely not the Walton family.
there's no AI. This is not a video game, okay? There's no AI algorithm that changes the prices based on supply and demand. The prices are manually set. You change them.
I am convinced that we are just living under Am at this point.
Yes, I think we are. God, and let me.
This dude can't be real, man.
It's. I don't understand how people like this are real. And let me reiterate. What he's saying is that the working class doing their job, what they were paid to do, is what's causing hyperinflation. Let that sink in. Why is there a sink at my door? See, that's letting the sink in, okay? I don't know.
I'm so so confused.
Me too, man. Let's continue this.
We need more employees in all businesses to fix the supply chain problem. So I'm hoping the Fed and Powell's done a masterful job. I really have.
Oh, Palestine. I wonder what's going on there.
I don't think he actually said Palestine. I think that's a hoping the Fed and Palestine. I think that's a error with the thing.
All businesses to fix the supply chain problem. So I'm hoping the Fed and Powell's done a masterful job. I really have to
I can't tell.
credit on. He's not popular everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's really trying to land that plane. He's doing a good job. He's trying to jawbone it a bit. But at the end of the day, half our problems just fix our supply chain. I've got companies that can't buy anything anymore because they can't get the supply.
Also, just remember that the Fed is a private bank. The Federal Reserve is a private bank. It is not a federally owned bank. It is a private business.
And he's also complaining about companies not being able to buy shit. But again, it's the companies that set prices, so it's not it's the working class's fault.
It's not our fault that this guy. Okay, this guy is just living proof that you don't have to be intelligent to be wealthy.
That's true.
You don't. Like it is the business owners that set the prices. We've established that. At this point, we've just been repeating ourselves for the last 10 minutes or so, since the coronavirus thing. I lost my train of thought. Fuck.
That sucks.
God damn it. Just resume the video.
Okay.
Just resume the video. It's not coming
Out of
back.
the Port of Los Angeles. We have to make it here 30% more expensive. We got a lot of work to do in this economy, but I'm always bullish. I love entrepreneurship, and that's why as we started talking about quiet quitting, just say no. If you like that video.
Okay. Well, that was crazy.
Fucking asshole.
Oh, man. Well, what did we learn today, folks? We learned that cops will do nothing besides protect their own. They're not in the interest of people. We learned that we learned that AI is on the rise and that in the future it could be something truly devastating. We learned that Biden is a horrible, horrible president and that he has never said a single truthful thing in his entire life, but he's probably still the only candidate that's worth voting for in this term specifically. And then we learned that free stuff is actually good. And it's been proven time and time again, studies after study 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 has been proving that free stuff is good actually. And then we learned that quiet quitting is complete nonsense. And that Shark Tank should be completely destroyed.
Agreed.
Any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Not really. Pretty well covered what I had to say. I mean, that last video just demonstrates that the belief that you have to be wealthy or work especially hard to become wealthy. I meant to say intelligent instead of wealthy the first time. You don't have to be intelligent or work especially hard to become wealthy. It really does just come down to blind luck, considering that this guy is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
AI, scary thing. The fact that we now have people just on Twitter faking CCTV footage. Sure, it was for a meme, but like the implications are kind of fucked, really fucked. Charges on the gay bar owner need to be dropped.
It's
So
okay.
St. Louis PD needs to get their shit together.
I agree.
Yeah, that is my closing statement.
All right. Any I can't think of anything. I think we kind of covered everything that we needed to do that. All right. Well, I hope this was at least entertaining. This was our first fucking like time doing anything off the cuff with no script. So, if this was ineloquent, I don't give a shit. It's my first time doing this. If I could change anything, it'd be having a better train of thought, or preparing more. We didn't prepare for this.
We didn't. We sat in a call for half an hour before we started recording, compiling shit to talk about, and then started talking about it.
Like, well, I barely did anything. So yeah, next time, hopefully, be more prepared. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe I'll be more awake, since I've only been awake for a couple hours. But other than that, I guess we'll see how this goes. Doing this like once a week or so.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. All right. Well, see you guys next time.